What's the link between socialism, a goose, and a group of stage actors? This is not a joke, but a real story of how a goose exposed the stupidity of bureaucracy and socialism in Egypt during the 1960s. Hamdi Ahmed was a famous Egyptian actor, but at the time of the story, as he recalled, he was just a new actor who just joined a government-owned theatrical company that mainly works for TV, also owned by the government. I mean, of course, this is Egypt in the 1960s. If you don't know about that, well, let's just say that since the free officer movement overthrew the monarchy in 1952 and established the republic, Nasser implemented a series of reforms that were basically a flirtation with communism. You see, the government seized land, companies, and private businesses, but at the same time, individuals can buy and own stuff. It's like you're not allowed to grow wealth beyond some arbitrary limit. Sometimes the government will let you do business, and then when they don't like you, they will close the shop. Well, that's a story for another time. And now, where were we? Oh yeah, Hamdi Ahmed and a bunch of actors. Well, at the time, Hamdi Ahmed was in contract to play a role in a play. The stage, the production, all belonged to the government. And in one scene, just one scene, there must be a goose. A real living goose. Now, where do you get the goose? One of the actors spotted an old lady near the stage who happens to own a goose. And just like that, they agreed with her to rent the goose every day for just 25 piastres. And that's a quarter of a pound. Sounds easy, right? Not really. You see, someone figured out that renting the goose could cost the company, aka the government, about £100 by the end of the play, which is a huge number at the time. So why not buy the goose for £5 only? And the company gets to keep it at all times. Problem solved, right? Not really. You see, this is where bureaucracy and socialism come into play. They need a bill to prove the sale, and the old lady can't read or write her own name. So one employee went and took her fingerprint, and now the sale is complete. The goose gets to stay as a part of the company. Problem solved, right? Well, not really. After the play came the question everybody forgot about. What happens to the goose? Well, since it's all government-owned production, all the customs, the props, all of it has to go back to the government storage, including the goose. Yeah, the goose. And since it's a living being, someone will have to feed it and take care of it in the storage. Yet this is an unprecedented situation, and nobody really knew for sure whose job is taking care of the goose. Like, is this an overtime extra work that will be compensated? Is there any money allocated for the food, water, and cleaning? Are they going to appoint a specific employee for the goose? And after a while, tragedy happened, and someone forgot to feed the goose. And sadly, it died. Is this the end of the story? Well, no. Remember what I said about government-owned property? That goose was government property, and someone caused it to die. Someone in socialist Egypt damaged government property. And so, all the stage company, including the actors, found themselves summoned for investigation by the administrative prosecution to find out who killed the goose. Also, the government appointed a veterinarian to act as some kind of autopsy specialist to find out the cause of death. And newspapers started writing about the dead goose and the mystery behind the death. And thus, a simple stage prop transformed into a bureaucratic nightmare, showcasing the inefficiency and absurdity of socialist bureaucracy. When in Egypt, it's very common and encouraged for people to leave a bowl of water and leftover food on hot days for doves and wild birds that nobody owns. It's just simply the decent thing to do, and oftentimes religiously seen as a blessing to have doves building a nest at your home. This story is not just about a goose or a group of stage actors. It's a reflection of how a socialist system can overcomplicate even the simplest task. The layers of bureaucracy intended to manage resources efficiently instead created confusion, waste, and ultimately the needless death of a goose. And that serves as a reminder of the flaws in the system. With government control can stifle even the simplest principle of common sense and individual responsibility. The tale of Hamdi Ahmed and the theatrical company Goose remains a humorous yet tragic illustration of how excessive bureaucracy can lead to a senseless outcomes, all of which could have been avoided if someone could just take an initiative without having to change the system. Anyways, if you like my new channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Thank you all, and see you in the next one.